Hey guys, welcome back to probably the last video of module 6 or whatever, or module 4, whatever it is. So this video we will, this is module 6, I said 4. Anyhow, there is a extension that you could get, I already have it. So if you go out to Google Chrome, look up the Cliffy diagrams. You could use anything, but that's the one I'm going to utilize for this course. I click launch, it brings this up. So what we want to do right now is we want to kind of talk about our structure of our, we already have the ASCII doc, which specifies our information, but we want to add more information to that documentation. So when we go into our repo here, we go into our ADoc, we want to add graphics that support it. So maybe we want to have a section here on talking about how's the workflow work. So one of the things that we know that with the workflow is we know that, okay, how's the process work from a, going back to module 1, how's that work from a continuous integration workflow process or whatever. So what we can do here is let me set up a cancel here, set up a new file. All right, so kind of like that right there. So actually we could probably use that one. So what's the first steps? What are second steps and so forth? How's the process work? What's the first step and so forth? So we know that if we had it spelled out, what's the first thing that we do? We edit our code, which would be our editor, and our editor would be, what would our editor be? In this case, Atom. So it starts with Atom, which would be the developer. So we want to talk about how stuff gets moved around. So we would have something like start at local environment, and then the next thing we do is we push it to GitHub. So we want to have maybe a branching strategy in play. So what's the next step? It starts at our local environment, it goes to GitHub, maybe goes to our feature branch, maybe it goes to our dev branch, etc. So we want to spell this whole process out when we're doing that. Okay, so we want to write this down first. Let's do this. So we have these different flowcharts. You could do a flowchart, you could do a network diagram. We're not going to do a network. Entity relationship, no. UML, not for this. I think flowchart could be what we need. So we could start off these different diagrams that mean different things. Process, a decision that's being made, a document. This could be more or less a database environment, paper tape. Let's see here, input output. So input output will start there. Where does it start at? So in this case right here, I double click on it and I'll say local development. I'll just put local dev. So that's where the development happens. Software starts there. What happens after you write your code? Well, a decision is made. What decision is made? You push it. We'll just say GitHub. We'll just say Git. All right, so that's decision number 1. Now, we need to provide what is the first action that happens when you do that. So when you contact Git, let's see which one can we use. We can do just something like this for now. We could put our library. So Git would be what branch? We'll just say our feature branch. And then after the feature branch, what happens? It goes on to another branch. Actually, maybe I do this one here. I don't like that. So I do feature branch. Copy that. Paste it. And we'll do, what's the next branch after feature? So we know it's the dev branch. Actually, cancel that. So we know we did the dev branch, but we'll put this over here for now. What's the next step of the process? Well, let's see here. Which one can we use? there's so many different ones. I'm trying to think which one I want to use. Alright, so let's say I don't like these diagrams they're providing us, to be honest with you. Alright, so we do that, and let's say, oh, okay, you know what? We did the feature branch. Now we need to do a pull request. So pull request is what we assign it to somebody. So pull request happens. We'll just say come down here. Assigns to user. We'll assign to developer. Review. We'll just put review process. So that'll be the next step of that works. So we know we write some code, we check it into get. That get goes to our feature branch. Our feature branch is then created a pull request, and it's this review process. Now at the review process, it has to be merged back into our feature branch. So what we'll do is, in this case right here, probably want to maybe put this underneath it. And let's see here. So this will happen first, this. Then we want to put it back in the feature branch. So let me think about this. Comes down here. Pull request, just playing with it as we go. Review process. And then it goes back up here. But oh, you know what? We'll go back to that feature branch. It'll come here, so maybe we put this here. And then we put this here because this is happening. It goes to pull request. Then after that, it goes to the review process. And then we talk about, hey, does it go back to the feature branch? Yes or no? No matter what, it's going to go back to the feature branch. So we could do that, or it stops. It has to go back no matter what. And we have to figure out, is it closed or not too? That's the other thing. But we'll just kind of give you an idea what we're doing, how the process works if everything's successful. All right, so it goes back to the feature branch. So let's start playing this. Boom. It's not perfect, but this is just giving you an example. Alright, so we have this funky setup here, to be honest with you. I don't know why I got all crooked on me. But you want to try to make it nicer than what I have here. Alright, so now it goes back to feature branch. Now we have this process here. Looks a little funky, but nonetheless, it goes to feature branch. Now, what's happened after that? Well, so we'll call this, I guess this could be staging 1. Once it gets to the feature, we want to push it to the, let's think about this. We want to push it to the master branch after that. So let's do a copy here. Paste it. Well, actually, it'll be dev branch. And then, so this might be phase 1 right here. And then it'll be master branch. I don't like how this is done. It looks horrible, to be honest with you. I probably could have did a better job, but doesn't matter. I just want to show you an example. All right, so this right here, you'd want to have some type of diagram here and say get branch strategy. All right, so you got the strategy going on here. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Cool. So cancel. All right, so now you have this strategy going. Then you want to add the second phase of it, which I think you can create a new diagram down here. Let's save it. So then you want to, I think you create another tab, but you can't, you have to create a whole new one. But then you want to create one on what happens after it gets to the master branch. What's the next step? So you want to do something along that line as well. Like how do you upload it? That's a branch strategy, but how do you actually, what's the strategy on, and I'm not going to do it for you, I'm going to let you do it. What's the server side? So in this case, that's the continued integration. How's the continue, how do you, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. How do you implement it? So the implementation process. So to continue can't even talk. Cancel, let's do this. Do is get rid of this. So how's it implemented? So start thinking about implementation. Implementation in this case would be what? All right, so you have it on your computer. How do you get it to FileZilla? Where does it go from FileZilla? How do you validate it? So those are things that you have to start thinking about as well. I'm not going to do it for you. And then once you have this saved, you can do a screenshot, however you want to do it. I don't care. You can change the color format to make it look a little bit prettier. Cancel. And then you could save it as a file. Save it, say, as a PNG. We have a PNG on our computer, so we can save it, and then we could go and put it in our environment. So how would we do that? So let's do this. We already have it called Glyphy. Let's see here. Save it as a PNG. And what we're going to call it, we'll call it diagram. So I have it in my documents folder. I'm then going to go, let's say, what about that? We'll go out to my GitHub account. Now we need to upload the image. I'm not going to show you how to do this whole process ever again because we've already talked about it. So we're in a deb, we're in images. We just need to upload that image that we just added. You could upload the file, you could drag it, however you want to do it. I'll do choose files. I will find my file that I just downloaded, diagram, upload it. I'll put uploading diagram. A minute. Perfect. Now if I go into my images folder, I should have a diagram in here. It should look like what we just did. Perfect. Now you can just implement that within your environment as well. So you might go back to your first repo. You might go back to your ADOC. We have a food pantry here. Maybe we have one on strategy, Git strategy. So maybe we would have something like this. We'd copy it, and we do GitHub branching strategy. All right, and then we would just copy this guy right here, paste it, and then we want to put our whatever our image file name was. So I think it was just called diagram. Yep. So we just do diagram, PNG, and put edit strategy section and logo, and then you could add some context to that as well. Discuss about your process flow. Tell the user how it works. And then if we hit submit, come down, we should not have an image, which I figure would happen. Let's see what happened here. I must have messed up somewhere. Let's take this out. Let's do diagram.png logo. So logo, we'll call it diagram. Let's see. All right, so we might want to make it a lot bigger, because that to me is very small. So we have the width is that. So just say 550. There we go, and you can make it even bigger than that, and then you can talk about it right up here. But that's what you want to do, is keep building onto your thing. So once you get to this week, you want to keep building each week as you add stuff. And it'll be very important that you add this into your strategy. So this will end the video, and you can take everything that you learned this week and just apply it. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.